decided I was going to make some homemade, very, very low in fat and with no processed anything in it, granola, other than the processing of the oats, I suppose, and what you see in front of me. Very minimally processed anyway. So I made one recipe and I decided to go with two. So one recipe would be one overly ripened banana. You're going to take it and put it into your NutriBullet or whatever you use for a blender. You're going to put 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, which I have over here, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, which I have here, and 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. And you're going to blend this up and it's going to become a puree. Don't worry if there's a few chunks in here. You're also going to take 1 date, and I have the dates here. I have not put the date in there yet. I'm using a dead-lit date. That's what was suggested, but you know what? If it was a medjool, I think it would be no problem as long as you make sure you take the stone out. That's important. So chop this up, put it in there, blend it up with the puree. Then you're going to take 1 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats, and you're going to put it in your bowl, and you're going to put the puree on top, and you're going to mix it together. Now, the things that are optional in here would be, that's the base of your granola. Adding some sunflower seeds. I added in some chopped walnuts. I do keep my walnuts, all my nuts in the freezer. I happen to like to prep some pre-chop because I like to be able to just take it and sprinkle it onto whatever I'm having. I also took some pumpkin seeds and flung them in there, a handful of raisins. These raisins are kind of dried out, so I took them and put them in some water and microwaved them for a minute along with the dates that I added in here, which were just chopped up, in addition to the dates that are in the puree, the date that's in the puree, pardon me. So that would be for one recipe. So now I decided that I'm going to make a double recipe. And so this will just be doubled. And again, the things that you want to put in here that are just what you like could be adding in some of these seeds, flax, chia, and hemp. You could add some unsweetened coconut flakes if you wanted to. The sky's the limit. Whatever you like that's going to make you happy is what you should put in. Like I said, the base is just 1 banana, 1 cup of rolled oats, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a tablespoon of maple syrup. So let me move on and I'll let you see what the next step is. Here is the result. I strained off the water. I just patted it down a little bit because I don't want excess water in there. And I'm going to put it into my bowl. And there we are. Time for mixing up. Okay, so I've added another cup of the oats because, again, I'm doubling the recipe from before. There's some sunflower seed kernels. I have some pumpkin seeds here and some more chopped walnuts. This is not an exact science, guys, so whatever floats your boat. If you like more nuts, then just add nuts. If you like different dried fruits, you add different dried fruits. You could put dried apple, apricots, plums, whatever you like. You don't have to put dried fruit. You don't have to put seeds and nuts. It just goes all according to what you enjoy eating, and that's the beauty of this. So I'm going to incorporate everything together, and then I'm going to show you the next step. Here it is, all spread out on my parchment paper lined cookie sheet. This is a full-size cookie sheet, by the way, and it's ready to go in the oven. All I did was spread it out as evenly as I could and as thinly as possible with no highs and lows so that it cooks evenly onto my pan. So off we go. I'm going to put it in a 350-degree preheated oven, and after 10 minutes, I'm going to turn it. Here we have the granola mixture after 20 minutes of cooking at 350, and I did turn the sheet pan in the oven halfway through. Now, I see that it's very moist here, and on the edges it's getting brown. So what I've decided to do is to decrease the temperature of the oven down to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put it back in and watch it carefully for 10 minutes. And we'll see what we have. Different people, different strokes for different folks. I've watched several different people make their own version of a granola, and each one of them has their own oven temperature and length of time for cooking. But the message from all of them is, do not let this burn. So, again, I'm experimenting. I'm going to keep a watchful eye, 10 minutes, and we'll see what we get. So this is the finished product after 8 minutes. It's certainly cooked enough, but it's not overdone. The next step that I've seen people do is take this, while it's still hot, break it up, and put it into the blender and break it up further and then stick it back in the oven. So I'm not going to be doing that because I'm lazy. I don't feel like breaking that thing out. I'm just going to use the larger cup of my NutriBullet and see how I do. Okay, as you can see, I made it into fairly good sized pieces, and it's not quite half that I've put in here. And all you have to do is pulse it and keep an eye on it. You don't want to smithereen it. And I meant to say food processor, not mixer, earlier. I just don't like taking that thing out just for a small thing like this. So hopefully this will work. It was a success. Now, it was suggested that if you have any larger pieces, even if you're using your food processor, to remove them or just leave them in there, or put them back in there, and then when you do the next batch, they'll get cut up. Moving on to the next batch. Okay, the granola is all broken down now, and I'm going to put it back in the oven for 5 minutes. It's suggested that it should still be moist when you remove it, because if it's dry, then that means it's overcooked. So 5 minutes, and here we go. This is finally done. This is what it should sound like. Nice and crunchy. It is not overcooked. It looks a little dark because of the camera, but it's really not overcooked at all. I tasted it. I have to be honest with you though, I really am not, I'm giving you a very poor representation of how to make granola, because it's really going to depend on your oven. I could be totally wrong on that. I ended up keeping it in for 5 more minutes at 300, and then I put it down to 200 for another 5 minutes, and then I put it to 170, which on my stove is dehydrate, and I left it in there for 20 minutes, and it came back like this, because it's supposed to be crunchy, and it wasn't crunchy enough for whatever the reason. So again, I did this on the fly just to give you an idea of what you might want to do to make your breakfast or snack tastier without adding in fat and overly processed ingredients. And yeah, so I'm happy with it. Unfortunately, my recipe for you did not come out as well as I had hoped, but better luck next time. Here we are. I just wanted to let you know that there was another tip that I heard that was said a few times, is that while it's still warm or hot, you're supposed to put it right into a canning jar and put the lid on so that it does not get soft. So hopefully that's going to be what happens. And yeah, so I can't wait to enjoy this though. I have to tell you, it tastes really good and it smells good. On to the next clip. This is my breakfast for today, which is really lunchtime now, but I never got a chance to eat yet. I wasn't really hungry anyway, and now I am hungry. So for me, it works best to make my oats in this jar or one similar overnight. So after dinner, what I'll do is weigh out 40 grams in total of a combination of whole grain oats and steel cut oats. I put cinnamon and some stevia, and I put a spoon in the glass, and then I boil a cup of water and pour it over top, mix it really well, cover it, and leave it on the counter until pretty much the water is absorbed, and then it's cooled down and I put it away, because I'm lazy in the morning to make oats on the stove. So here what I have is about a half a cup of rice cauliflower, which I cooked, and that's on the bottom. And I have my oats, and there's some raisins in those oats as well. I have one small banana that was previously frozen that I cut up in here, and then I have a few beautiful strawberries. And I did put some of my homemade granola over top of that. I think this looks delicious. It smells delicious, and I can't wait to dig in. I would eat this anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But I basically have been eating it for breakfast with blueberries or other fruits, as you may already know. And now I have granola to put on it, so that makes me even happier. Off to enjoy. What's for lunch today? I have some potatoes that I had previously frozen after boiling them, and I air fried them with some seasonings. And they're crunchy as croutons would be. Yum. I cannot wait to eat them. I have a combination of pinto beans and navy beans, plain, nothing done to them. I have some of that crispy lettuce, some grapes, some roasted red peppers, some Vidalia onion. I think that does it for the veg. Oh, also I have a bunch of green pimento onions, pimento olives on there. I can't talk. And I made my own dressing, which was a tablespoon of maple syrup, a tablespoon of spicy brown mustard, and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I'm hungry now. I enjoyed my breakfast, but it's time for lunch. Even though it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I am off to enjoy this. What I put together for dinner tonight, it's actually all leftovers. I had the macaroni frozen along with the cooked broccoli. And yesterday I made some navy beans with tomato sauce in the way I usually make them. And what else is in here? A homemade vegan cheese sauce, which you throw together in literally under 5 minutes. It's amazing. You just take 1 cup of your plant milk of choice, as long as it's unsweetened. It has to be unsweetened. And then you put a heaping tablespoon of potato flour into that and stir it up and make it on top of the stove. Cook it as if it was a roux. And when it's done, you just season it up accordingly. I put nutritional yeast, some smoky paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, and it came out looking like a cheddar cheese sauce. I had it last night for dinner. It was delicious. And tonight I'm using it in a different way, but it's going to be equally delicious, I'm sure. So whether I'll finish this or not, I don't know, but I know I will eat at least half. And I'm off to enjoy now. Well, hello there, YouTube family. I hope that my video finds you all doing well. Whatever plan you may be following, if you're not following a plan, regardless, my wish for you is that you and your families are always doing well. And you're always in my thoughts and prayers, in case you didn't know that. I'm going to send you these hugs before I forget, because you know me. Anyway, this day of eating went beautifully for me. My apologies for not putting up a video sooner. I am just adjusting to what I'm doing and adjusting to my new work schedule, which is going great, by the way, but it's still an adjustment, you know. And I also didn't want to make the video too long because of what I did. This is the bomb. I will be perfecting this recipe. My thoughts are that I will be cooking it to a point of where it's done to be broken up, as I showed you. It has to be broken up. And then I will put it on 170, which is for my oven, 170 Fahrenheit is dehydration mode. Although I do have a dehydrator, which I have not even opened to use. I bought it to make dog treats for Cora and have since not done anything. But again, with my work schedule changing, I'm going to plan to have more time to do things. My sleeping has been wonderful. I'm getting up at 5:30 naturally every morning, which is what I always used to do before I started working this stupid night shift, which I am so happy to no longer be doing. Anyway, if you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. Let me know how you're doing. I'm always interested in that. I am holding Sebastian at bay, is why you see me doing this, because he will walk right across the screen. I want to, if you are in the market for a good book that explains to you what foods to put together, not in the same way as the Glucose Goddess does. This is different. This is putting foods together to stimulate GLP-1 and weight loss, and an explanation of how all of that works regarding what fiber does in the body. And it's just an amazing book. For me to read this book through, other than the part about the recipes, I mean, I'm on 143 and I did that in like a day and a half. Very unusual for me. I buy lots of books, I mean well, and then I don't read them. But this was one of those where I really just was so interested in what he was saying in the book. And again, I will read this little description to you. The Power Foods Diet, which is really not a diet at all. It's really a lifestyle. The breakthrough plan that traps, tames, and burns calories for easy and permanent weight loss. Yes, it is whole food, plant-based. However, you can still benefit from eating these power foods and incorporating them into your omnivore diet, or even in a vegetarian diet. There are a lot of benefits, and when you read this book, you'll understand. If you don't want to read the book, go to the Physicians Committee. If I remember to put the link here to the original video that I watched, which is about an hour and a half long, where Dr. Bernard is interviewed regarding the Power Foods diet. That's what prompted me to end up buying the book, because I am a lover of having books. And I was really amazed at how interested I was in this book, not just because I'm doing whole foods plant-based, but because of what the information that I have read in here. I mean, I have many other books about being starch-based, Whole Foods, as I've told you before, but this one is a keeper. So, on that note, I'm going to let you know I'm doing really, really well. It's been over a week now, and there's no going back for me. Whether I lose this weight or not, I am healing my body, and that's all that really matters to me at this point. I cannot be on a diet anymore. This is not even about the weight loss. It would be great to lose these extra pounds, which I have a feeling I eventually will, especially if I start moving a bit more, which I have not been doing. I think going forward with the change of schedule that my life is going to be going in a better direction, including movement. But I feel free. I'm enjoying my food. Again, I always say, if you don't enjoy the food on whatever plan you're doing, you're not going to stick with it. It's just the way it works, right? I mean, I'm sure if you've been on it for doing the yo-yo diet thing or dieting for years like me, my whole life, that you already have that understanding that it is really, really hard to stick with whatever plan you're following. And I'm not saying that people who do Whole Foods plant-based don't stop doing it because they're trying to do it for weight loss and they're having struggles and they just end up... Plantiful Emmy, I think her name is. She is a registered, I believe, dietitian. She's a nutritionist. She has a big channel. She coaches people who want to do the starch solution, whole food plant-based thing. And she even says that, you know, she has clients and they'll say, well, I'm doing everything. I'm eating Whole Foods plant-based, but guess what then? They're going out to the ball game with their kids and they're having ice cream. You know, there are many things that we can do on this type of eating plan that really substitute the ice cream with healthy foods, foods that are nutritious for the body to have. It's really easy to do. You just have to make the decision to do it, which is not an easy one. Anyway, see you soon. Okay, Sebastian, you want to be in here? At least say hello properly without your butt in the camera. This is Sebastian. He's my little prince. He loves to be in videos whenever I'm around him, when I make them. And he's saying, bye now. I'll see you soon. Stay well, my YouTube family. Thank you for watching.